Although we are active Church of Satan members, we do not speak on their behalf. The following contains language in adult manner and poorly impersonated celebrity voices. Listener discretion is advised.
This is Warlock Zotha Mog, and you're listening to The Devil You Know. Get your ears lubed, because they're about to get fisted.
All right, it's the last episode of 2015, John. Episode 12. What's going on, man?
A lot of things, man. I mean, getting ready for New Year's and stuff. Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. How's Florida going?
Everything's going good. Although we do have to say, and this is just fresh off the press yesterday, pay a little tribute, man, to a metal legend that just passed away, Lemmy. Lemmy died, man.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I've seen it all over Facebook.
I don't know. I was never even like a huge Motorhead fan.
Me neither. I'm really not, actually. I think I know 3 songs by them I like.
But he's an icon. You know, he's an icon of heavy metal, and so yeah, you know, and he always. I think one of the things I appreciated about him was that he owned up to his own mistakes, and that was, you know, in some of the quotes of him. So, you know, yeah, he probably killed himself with alcohol and cigarettes, but he didn't blame anyone else. So, I guess we got to give him that. But anyway, had to toss that in there. Farewell to Lemmy Kilmister. So, anyway,
yeah. So, what you been up to? What's going on? What's new?
Just nothing. Working.
Awesome. Way to ad lib. That's great.
I don't know.
For me, thanks for asking. It's been this Facebook thing. Fuck. These everybody knows what I'm talking about too. The Nigerians or Zambians.
It's hilarious when you posted it, and of course everyone thought. Well, go ahead and explain it for those who haven't seen it.
Well, I posted. There's this guy, Bwalia Lewis. I don't know where he got the American Lewis name, but his name's Bwalia Lewis. And
Carl Lewis's kid.
Wait, that's no, yeah, there he is. But I get this thing just like most people do. He says, "I want to join." I shouldn't do his voice.
No, do it. I love that. That's great. Do it.
All right. So if I'm talking like this, then I replied and I said something like this. But if I do this, then it's him. All right, here we go. We'll do it. I'm going to say this like exactly how he spells it.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Because woof. All right. I want to join Satanists so that I change my life. Initiate me, please. So I'm like, I read that. I'm like, okay, fuck, I got it. All right. I said, go to www.thedevilyouKnowpodcast.com and listen to all the episodes. Tell all your friends to go to Facebook and like it and share it. This is your first test, right? So he writes back almost immediately. I want you to come and initiate me. Please help me. And not within like 2 minutes. Please, I need it today. Please, I need it to join today. And I wrote back, you're beginning to fail. So he goes, why? Okay, start again. I will do what you want if you initiate me. I'm very serious. And I said, seriously, you need to read a book. I'm not sure what is being said by the people where you live, but I get a lot of messages from them saying the same thing. Satanism is not about a real devil. Devils and gods do not exist. Satanism is about being your own god and making yourself successful and happy. Have you even read the Satanic Bible? No, give it to me. I'm like, you can buy it on Amazon.com for only $10. In Zambia, there is no that shop. Please, I want today to start pray devil. Come in home around 2 to 3 and initiate me. Please help. I'm very seriously to join, so do this for me. I said, I just got through saying that we don't believe in a devil. Then you tell me you want to pray to one and for me to help you? Are you retarded? No, I believe him so much as my God. The only thing I want today is to join. Please. Please, I promise you I'll always be with you if you initiate me and tell me what to do. I will as long as join your God. Please do this to me today. Please, I choice to pray, devil my God. Please, I will. I said,
What the fuck?
You need psychological help, dude. Please stop contacting me. Why? I'm not useless. I can do more things for you if you initiate me. I said, what can you possibly do for me? And initiate is not a word, it's initiate. Okay, tell me if you come and initiate me, please. I promise you I will be the most interested person if you do this to me today. Please, I beg you.
Today, like, okay, I'll be right there.
Yeah, right. This gets better. Hold on. Please, I beg you, help me to come. I want and I need. Please, he wants me to help him come. I don't get it.
Ugh.
I think I need. Please come today and found out if I'm useless or not sure for what I'm talking about. Please. I wrote back, kindly fuck off. Please, why? I'm sorry if I say something long to my boss, please. I'm a boy with 16 years from the poor family. I want to change my life. Please don't hate me. You are the one I choice. Please do this to me today, please. Or
Do it to him, John. Do it.
And then he says this, and this is what really, check this out. Or I see the text you wrote that I'm going to do with. I will give you 10 people to say thank you. Now, what does that mean to you?
I will give you, like, slavery?
I didn't know. So I posed the question, what does, and in quotes, give you 10 people to say thank you actually mean? I mean that when you initiate me today, I will kill 10 people for you to thank you for what you have done to me.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I said in my own head and out loud. What the fuck? This dude wants to, like...
He wants to show you how serious he is by committing murder.
Right. So all my enemies out there, just be warned. I've got a Zimbayan on the hook here for you motherfuckers.
He's ready to be initiated.
Once I initiate him, that's it. You're done. So anyway...
Holy fuck.
Yeah, dude. I just wrote back the whole simple thing. You're just saying, you stop contacting me. I mean, I'm sure I could block him, but it's kind of funny. So I was like, I asked you previously, fuck off. And he just says, okay, tell me what you want to do for you when you initiate me, tell me. Please, I'm seriously about to help me. Do something to me. Satanist.com. I want to join before New Year. I wishing you to be a good member in this. Approve me to join.
Why don't you know what you need to make some BS Ice Satanist member cards.
Dude,
like $500 to join or something, man.
That sounds good on paper.
You get a free membership card when you join.
I don't know. That's just not good. That'd be no different than these ridiculous pastors saying that people have a seat in heaven and they're living in 5,000 square foot houses. Anyway, that's what's going on with me. Thanks for asking.
I mean, the whole country of Zimbabwe could be,
No, it wasn't Zimbabwe. It wasn't. He didn't even. It's Zambia. So there must be another.
Oh, well.
You're like, whoa. It must be. Where is it? Zambia. Zambia.
Yeah.
And you know how these guys spell things correctly, so it must be true.
I'm just saying, man. You could be doing fine right now.
I am doing fine.
But, I mean, yeah, obviously we can joke about it, but I mean, you got some psycho out there who's willing to kill people for you too. On the one hand, it's like, well, at least they're on my side, but, who wants to be accountable for that bullshit?
I know. So the internet police are on the way to my house right now.
He's probably just, just being a moron, but I mean, just what if you just happen to get unlucky and get the one real psycho?
The super fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
I love you.
Please,
no, you don't understand. I love you.
Do it to me.
Yeah, come to me. Come help me, please. I beg you, please. Tell me this. How do you do this? And all of a sudden it turned Indian. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, let's move on with the show, again. Shall we? All right.
And now you're drunk.
I don't know. Sound like a bitch, yo. Bitch. Bitch, yo. What's a bitch, yo? I never said a bitch, yo. That's what your mama is when I'm done with her. My mama don't come around no more. Satan rest her soul. Yeah, that's right. Why you think she don't come around no more? 'Cause I put the pimp dick on her, bitch. Pimp dick? She had pimp dicks. That pimples or pimp dick? I don't know what the difference is. One looks like a pimple, the other looks like acne. Why you think she has false teeth now? I had to smack the bitch around. Wanted to give me some fucking lip, man. You don't give the gimp pimp no lip.
This is a test. This is only a test. If this had been an actual emergency, you would have been instructed to go to www.isatanist.com and make your purchase before the communication infrastructure has been damaged. This is a... Wait, this just in. This is an emergency. You need to go to isatanist.com right now. Make your purchase before the internet is compromised and the world has been flung into chaos. Hurry! iSatanist.com has what you need to survive. Forewarned is forearmed. Good luck, everyone. Seriously. Go now.
Hello there, my fellow Hellraisers. Milton from Raising Hell Podcast here. Great show you guys got. Feels comfy anyway. Good digs by good folks. I like it. Now, the reason I'm calling is to rant out an issue I've been having for a few months now. I get a lot of correspondence from people, and not all of it's in regards to parenting. Some of it is about relationships and love and sex, like I'm fucking Dr. Ruth or something. But here's the rub. People using their children as excuses. Big excuses. The worst of excuses. Why? My husband doesn't romance me anymore. All he does is sit on the couch and watch TV. Our two kids tire him out. He's a good dad, but there's no spark left. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, he gets me flowers and remembers my birthday and the special days, but I want the romance and the spontaneity of our youth. Why can't he bring that back? I want candlelight and back rubs and poetry. He never looks at me like he used to. I don't feel sexy anymore. He doesn't seem to want me. The porn is out of control. I worry about the children. What if they grow up seeing how daddy doesn't want me and desire me? I feel like the children are pulling us apart. What do I do? And I usually write them back something strong and affirming, positive and useful, you know. Most of them attest to be Satanists, though I truly can't label them witches, because, well, any good witch doesn't whine. She wins. But what I really want to say to them? Well, here's the devil you don't know. Look, lady, 2 flashbacks shot out of your pork wallet, okay? And those little flex them and fold them bundles of poo, throw up, and cuddly joy changed your life forever. Yep, just like that annoying little shit on the sandlot. Forever. But let me ask you a question, ladies. What in the fuck have you done to deserve this sweet-ass treatment? Why should your husband desire you? Want you? Because you don't sound anything close to desirable to me. All I hear is the eternal pity party of someone who probably doesn't make any effort whatsoever to control the situation, better themselves, and get what they want.
It sounds to me like you just want your overworked and underappreciated baby batter supplying strap horse to be this dark night of daddydom and husbandhood, to give it all to you, and romance you like he probably did in his youth.
But chances are he's got a job. Most likely you both do. And kids of whatever age, they take up your time. Then, of course, there's the cleaning, the cooking, the bathing, and sleeping when you can. It's a full life, and it's not easy, even when you do it right. When was the last time you came to the door with something sexy on? Or even the bedroom door once the kids were down? Joined him in the shower, invited him to watch a porno, had a date night, made some time, stop fucking nagging. For more on this, see Priestess Palmer's essay on Hell Magazine. This is one I actually direct both men and women to when they write me this Dear Abby bullshit. But ask yourself this question. Why should he desire you? What poetry-inspiring actions have you performed beyond the menial tasks and drudgery of home life? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you always get stuck doing the dishes and the laundry? Well, when was the last time you went out to shovel snow, or clean the gutters, or were fucking told for the billionth time that washcloths are folded a certain way, even though it doesn't actually matter? What have you done other than passively act like a whiny little loser who I hope doesn't show this side of mommy to their kids? Are you somebody you could write poetry about, give back rubs to, and light a few candles for? Are you that person? Well, anyway, if you're a witch, chances are you don't have any of these problems. But that's the shit I get, and it fucking wrinkles me raw. But wait, just in case you think I'm a misogynist, I get stuff from the fellas too. Oh yes, and it's actually sadder than the letters from the ladies. Mr. Kruger, bro, you must be a great husband and father. I just know you are. If you don't mind my saying, your sex life must rock. Women always dig the man who can father good. I like this woman who has kids, and, I want her to like me, but how do I do it? Well, the answer is get a lobotomy and a new personality. Because you shouldn't be around children, and you can stay the fuck away from mine. That's how it is, bro. But the other half I get are from fathers and those dating women with children. Oh man, she never puts out anymore. It's all about the kids. She never lets up. She always has to be doing something. I can't just chill. She doesn't understand me. Of course she doesn't fucking understand you, you mewling eunuch. I don't understand you either. How do I get her to desire me? What kind of things should I do to make her want me? I think she likes some other guy at work. I think his name is Todd. How can I get out of cuddling? I just like to say first, I like cuddling, so fuck you. But why do women want to cuddle? Well, maybe because you've done nothing for them. Nothing. Not just in bed, but in your life. If a woman feels loved and cared for, appreciated, she's going to understand that you need some space for a beer with the fellas, or to go out to the garage with a wrench every now and then. She just don't want to cuddle, but chances are it's probably not going to be such a bear hug of depressed longing, which you're probably being saddled with right now because you're a piece of shit. But, when your emotional depth is shallower than a stopped-up punk concert urinal, and probably the same color too, you may not understand this. When was the last time you hit the gym? Cut out that extra six-pack on Sunday, went for a jog, made dinner, swept and vacuumed, cleaned out your goddamn toilet from your nasty motherfucking IBS! Left her a short and sweet little message on the hood of her car, sent her flowers to the office or the home, surprised her with a lunch date while the kids are at the grandfolks or school, planned a getaway for the family, took a fucking interest in her life, you selfish sod of a man. Honestly, people, it all comes down to this. Ladies, if you want to be treated like a queen, either look and act like one, or find someone who thinks that however you look and act now is perfect and desires to treat you the way you want to be treated. Men, fucking men, you want respect? Earn it. Prove you are worthy to be a husband and a father, a real man. It's not easy, and it's never going to be. At least I hope not. Easy means shit has gotten unreal, and not in a good way. Take some time. Skip the game. Forget your shit for a bit. If you're already a great father, awesome. But don't forget the other half to your equation. The person you chose to spend your life with. It's two against the world, right? Never forget that. Or soon it could just be you against the world. So, sweet baby Satan, less bitching, more doing. John, Dorian, thanks for your time, guys. Wonderful show you have. I'm Milton C., and this is the devil you don't know. So keep on raising hell and hail Satan.
I feel a lot better. All right, for the interview for episode 12, John, one of the things I love about this show, and of course, best way to round out the year is all the satanic women that we get to talk to. So
yes,
let's end 2015 with one of our best female guests. Who we got this week?
We have Magistra Templi Rex of the Church of Satan, Blanche Barton.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Hello, I'm very happy to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah. Miss you already. I'm already on the other side of the country.
It was a thrill. It really was.
I heard you guys had a big shindig after I leave. What the hell?
Yeah, man.
I know. Yeah, I know. You missed a big party, but we had a great time, and we always have a great time. I love hanging out with you guys. It's a laugh a minute. One of the things I really appreciate about the Satanists that I've met is how quickly they can move from comical to serious.
Right.
And it's fabulous to see that in people.
It's a lost art.
It is. Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes it's necessary, though, and I actually really enjoyed the film festival that you did in L.A. when there was some kind of just really goofy, quirky little small films incorporated into all that. It was fun. So.
Yeah, that was really fun. He picked up some really good stuff, and I think the emphasis on the Satanic Panic, that's been coming up in conversations with people lately. I don't know why. I think maybe there's a younger generation that wasn't there, and when they look back on it, they think, "Oh my God, was this real?" And they don't realize that there were people going to jail and being accused of terrible things, and it was disrupting lives. It's all on tape. Of course, so much of that has been recorded, either off television or radio. But it's hard to believe that we have witch hunts, literal witch hunts in this day and age, and that they were trying to legislate against Satanism. Try to get somebody to legislate against, the Lutherans or Methodists or something, or Jews, for goodness sakes. But it all comes back to some scapegoat. And again, we all know that's what Satanism's all about, is the danger of scapegoating.
Yeah. Well, and like I had told you before that, I grew up in a very Christian family, so I was on the other side of that. I saw all this happening. I was raised in an environment where they were telling us that all this crazy stuff was real. So yeah, it's interesting now too, especially like you said with the film festival. Some of the little clips of something like they would say like He-Man or Dungeons and Dragons was satanic, and as a child I wasn't allowed to mess with that kind of stuff. So
what happened to you?
You
poor thing.
Unfortunately, my parents had a smart child, so I figured things out for myself, I guess.
Yeah, you fell to the dark side, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
That's awesome. Darth Dorian. That's great.
Yes, exactly. I can see that. You'll have to put that on your business card.
All right. Well,
awesome.
So I know you have particular areas that you wanted to talk about with us today, and some of it kind of stemming from some of the things that you said at Conclave. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, just that we're getting to the point, especially with year 50, where we're looking at the next 50 years. The doctor said it, the first 99 years are the hardest, and it's amazing that we're a new religion, and I'm sort of reflecting on where we are now and where we're headed. We've got wonderful people at the helm. We keep attracting such dynamic, interesting people, and I think that's a real plus. It shows that we've got a potent philosophy going, and we still continue to attract the highest caliber of people there are, in my humble opinion, and that wonderful rich combination of humor and depth and complexity and perspective, and not falling for the bullshit, and questioning all things, and making their own lives, and making their own art, and making their way in the world. And as our high priest has said on more than one occasion, you are the Church of Satan. We don't have buildings. We never intended to have big buildings. That wasn't what Anton LaVey thought about to begin with. We don't have tithings. We don't have to have people pay for big buildings and gather like pigs to keep warm. It's all about, you guys going out and creating ripples and tidal waves in the world, and to see that happening is breathtaking to me. I mean, it's very, very satisfying. But tying that back into sustainable Satanism, what makes a religion sustainable? What keeps it going? And the concepts of that we have a body of knowledge. We have philosophy and stories that keep us going through our darkest times. We're old enough now that we've had births, we've had deaths, we've had the complexities that life brings.
Yeah.
And does this religion go further than just F the man or something? Is it more than just Marilyn Manson? As important as that aspect is,
God, I hope so.
does it go beyond just teenage angst, and trying to get through those terrible years and recognizing our differences and trying to piss people off and such. So I'm thinking about Satanism in the long term, and what I see in one aspect of it that has become very close to me is that that we are appointed. What I see from a lot of Satanism is, including one of the 9 satanic statements about us being no better or worse than animals that crawl on all four, that we're usually worse than they are. And just Anton LaVey's feelings about animals in general. He loved animals. I mean, some of his closest friends were animals. He could relate to most of the animal kingdom a lot easier than he could relate to humans, because humans tend to put roadblocks in front of themselves for irrational and complex reasons, and he didn't see why. He didn't see that was rational. He didn't see that it made any sense. The spider, as he said, is trying to be the best spider that it can be. It's and humans unfortunately don't have that capacity sometimes, and that's one of the reasons why he did what he did, started what he did, because he felt that people should be armed with knowledge and inspiration that would lead them into furthering themselves and being the best humans that they can be.
Yeah.
And so, all of that ties in. And
You think that goes to all animal species? Like, I mean, if you look at a whole, an iceberg full of penguins, you think some of them maybe are just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm good enough. Like,
I mean, they're not trying to be the best penguin they can be.
Certain, I'm just wondering, like if there's certain animals that are just kind of, whatever, I get by.
Did you just watch Happy Feet? I know you got a small child in the house.
No, I didn't, but I'll have to check that out.
I've often thought about the sloth. I mean, are they really trying? Are they trying to be a good animal? I don't know, but no, they're out there in the middle of the winter. They're protecting their eggs under their bodies, and they're working hard. I mean, could you stand out there and do what those penguins do through that roughest time? And
not since the operation, no.
And travel so far to get food and come back, and it's all very complex. And I'm not saying they do it on a conscious level.
Right.
We're the only conscious animals.
Well, that's true.
But look what that consciousness sometimes brings us. A lot of pain and complexity and a lot of creativity as well. But we're real good at self-sabotaging a lot. The doctor sometimes would say that people don't have a fear of failure; they have a fear of success, and that's what he wanted to take out of the equation for a lot of people. So yeah, and also I see, the as far as getting back to the sustainability and raw foods and how that kind of ties into Satanism is, everybody knows our healthcare system is a mess, not just here, but worldwide. And we do terrible things to our body just because marketing has yummy things for us to eat that aren't necessarily good for us, So a lot of Satanism is self-reliance. Nobody cares about you as much as you care about you, So this is your body. This is your body, and you have to treat it and feed it with things that will put you in an optimum state. I know a lot of Satanists exercise, and a lot of them do yoga, and they concentrate on that aspect of it. But they don't. Sometimes they don't. They're not as conscious of what they put in their body. I'm not saying you have to be a saint. I'm not saying you have to, cut out all the fun stuff. I'm just saying, be aware of what you're putting in your body and make good choices. And
and certainly take responsibility for it too, of course.
Again, responsibility to the responsible, right? So it all ties in to me very smoothly with the whole philosophy, very obviously, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I definitely have to start doing that.
Yeah.
I'm doing a little more of the compulsion thing than the indulgence thing. So.
Well, I had a special push, and I probably wouldn't do it if this didn't happen to me. But when I had Xerxes, I developed gestational diabetes. I have it on both sides of my family, and I was very overweight. And it was stressing my body terribly. And I hadn't thought up until then. I mean, my goodness, I was living with the doctor. We were going out to those wonderful San Francisco restaurants 5-6 nights a week. And I ate anything I wanted to, and I loved every minute of it. But I started feeling the consequences, and the doctors told me, okay, anyone who gets gestational diabetes probably has a fairly good chance of getting it later, of developing it later, if you don't slim down, if you don't start exercising, if you don't start watching what you're eating. And so I had to do a lot of research on my own. I went to the Diabetes Association, and they were talking about various things, sometimes conflicting. Yes, you still can eat sugar. Yes, you can still eat some of this stuff, but my numbers weren't coming down, and I didn't think it was good advice. So that's when I started doing a lot of research on diet and nutrition. And I finally was led through many, many years. It didn't happen overnight, but many years of experimentation to the raw foods diet. Optimally, I don't stick to it all the time, but I know that it's the best diet for me. It may not be the best for everybody, but it was just because of that issue that I wanted to stay away from diabetes, and I have. As long as my weight stays down, and as long as I eat, stay away from heavy carbs, and sugary stuff and all the bad things.
You mean all the good things?
But I don't miss it, I mean, with raw foods, the nice thing is that you can have your dessert, and still not get heavy glycemic load and everything. You can,
Well, this is your platform, so tell us a little bit about the raw foods diet.
Well, let's see. It goes back a ways, probably to the 20s, with a woman named Ann Wigmore. She had a healing center, and she had things like Vitality Soup, which were essentially green smoothies. She started healing people with green smoothies. The reason that raw food is nutritionally potent is because the vitamins and phytonutrients that are in our foods are very sensitive to heat, and like lycopene and chlorophyll, and like the whole idea of eating a rainbow of food, reds and greens and purples and blues. They give you a lot of cancer protection, and a lot of nutrients that are just cooked out of our food if we're just not aware of that. It's also higher in water content when it's not dehydrated and not cooked. And we all know that, a lot of our youthfulness comes from keeping the water in our system, being well hydrated. And most people aren't hydrated. You don't realize it, but the headaches that you may be getting, or those elements may be just from dehydration. Another aspect to raw foods is the mineralization. Because of our farming methods, we don't have the kind of minerals in our food that we used to. So if you're eating a lot of dark green vegetables, kale and collard and what they're making the green smoothies out of now, spinach, those have a lot of minerals that our bodies really need, and sometimes you need to supplement even with like over-the-counter nutritional supplements that are minerals. And I've found that if you're well mineralized, the cravings for high sugar, high salt, high fat kind of subside, because your body is no longer aching for something that it doesn't know what it wants, but it keeps keep compulsively eating because your body is still craving something, but it doesn't know what. So it keeps saying eat, 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 and we're eating cakes and French fries and sugar stuff and salty stuff and
jalapeno poppers. Yeah.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. But the cool thing is that most that raw foods now isn't like, like the sprouted mung beans and the yucky stuff that it used to be. That it's now taken on cuisine, as has vegan food in general. Anything that you like, spaghetti, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, they've got vegan or raw versions of it. Someone has invented somewhere, this version of vegan mac and cheese or something. And it's a lot healthier for you, and you're not having to kill animals, and you're not. The problem with animals, I know people try to be, if they're aware, they try to be more careful with, grass-fed or humanely raised animals, which is
cage-free.
Which is certainly a step in the right direction. But animal agriculture in general is a cruel and wasteful and polluting
industry.
Yes, on our planet, it's a blight. It truly is, and on all levels, from efficiency and ethical grounds to just using up resources like water and creating a lot of muck that we don't need.
So there's no meat in the raw food diet, correct?
Well, not in the way I practice it, and in the majority of people that practice it. Some people have eaten, I would say a tiny, tiny minority, like 1%, eat raw meat, raw milk, raw cheese.
Like sushi? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I love sushi.
That's certainly allowable in certain contexts. But most people say that, I think there was some recent investigation on red meats and processed meats especially, that they're just by nature not good for your body, and maybe cancer producing. So, I know. But
it's like one of my joys in life.
Yeah,
if I smell ribs, I'm in kill mode. It's crazy.
There you go. See, yeah, but I don't. It's like Satanism, I want people to be informed, to be able to make good decisions for themselves. I'm not pushing this on anybody, but when people have can make an informed choice, then it's a lot better for everybody. I don't expect everybody to turn vegan or turn into raw food eaters. Even Satanists, I'm perfectly comfortable with people eating meat around me. But I just want people to know.
John and I are both pretty much examples of what a before shot of a diet looks like. Anyway, so
you're both handsome men. I know
from the
that.
Neck
That's
up.
right. from the beard up. Yeah. That's so funny. But I've heard when you give up certain things or cut way down on certain things like sugar and high fructose corn syrup and all these things that are in everything, your taste buds change for the better.
True.
You actually enjoy eating something like celery.
Yeah, you taste the saltiness in celery. Celery is actually very high in natural salts, and it can be used almost as a condiment. A lot of sea vegetables are excellent for us. They've used them in Japan and a lot in the East for a long time, but we've only recently discovered how important the wide range of minerals and salts that we get from sea vegetables and kelps and that sort of thing is, again, getting back to the sushi, is good stuff for your body.
No, I
really
love sushi
surprising.
now.
A weird observation, and obviously you're definitely an exception to this, but I've noticed, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I swear I've noticed a lot of people who turn vegan that seem like they gain weight. And I don't know if that's maybe they're just doing it wrong or what, but
yeah, they're doing it wrong. You can definitely gain a lot of weight as a vegan. Think about it. What is, you can eat breads, you can eat pastas. There are a lot of things that don't have any animal products that are not exactly healthy for you. But what raw veganism brings is emphasizing raw vegetables and fruits, which have, when you're when you're raw, you can't have processed foods, so all the breads and all the pastas and all that stuff goes right out the window. So then you start thinking, well, what can I eat? Well, the cool thing, they've got this little spiralizer now, so you can make little spiral noodles out of zucchini or beets or something and put a cool sauce on them. You've got your spaghetti right there. Now, I'm not saying it tastes like spaghetti. I'm saying that if you eat it and you have your mind in the right mindset, it's not going to be exactly the same. The vegan meat substitutes are not exactly the same. If you're looking for chicken, it's not going to be chicken. But it tastes enough like it that most of us aren't real connoisseurs. We slam things in our faces that we go through, Jack in the Box drive-thrus. Are we really that? Can we really tell the difference between, fake chicken nuggets and real chicken nuggets? If it's got the right spices on it.
Though. Yeah, the texture is important too, because I know my wife, and she, if we have pasta, she tried to make what is that, some wheat noodles or something, and I was like, get this crap out of here. This is gross. I hate this stuff. Yeah, so I don't, there's certain things like that I can try, but I can tell the difference. But at the same time, she started doing this. It's like this blended up cauliflower, and it looks and smells and tastes like mashed potatoes. And we've been eating that in place of mashed potatoes to cut down our carbs.
Wow.
And it's really good. So I don't know.
Yeah, good deal. That's exactly where it starts.
Bringing it back to what Dorian said earlier about some vegans being actually large. If you think about all the way back millions of years to the Brontosaurus, all they did was eat vegetables, and they're huge.
They're huge. That's right. Well, and think of
that's why they died.
Think of gorillas and elephants and steers, oxen, all vegetarians. Where do they get their protein? They get it from the vegetables that they're eating, and they're strong and they're muscular, and they are processing their food properly. They're getting the fats that are healthy fats. They're getting the enzymes. Enzymes are really important, and again, they're very heat sensitive. With people taking enzymes because they can't digest their food very well, it's in the foods naturally. Do you eat sauerkraut, or do you eat any fermented foods at all?
Sometimes, yeah. With a hot dog.
Right. Okay. Well, those are really good for you too. Yeah, those are really good too, to get those active probiotics in your food. Kefirs and.
I thought you were saying the hot dogs are good for you. I'm like, that doesn't sound true.
The vegan hot dogs, yes.
Only the ones from Costco.
But a lot of people go to veganism for ethical reasons, and I certainly respect that. They don't go to veganism for health reasons. They don't want to get thinner, and they don't care about that. They just don't want to be part of the cruel industry that is going on in America. And now we're exporting that same industry, that mass killing and torture of animals to other countries, because they're getting richer. China's getting richer. India's getting richer. And how do you define wealthy? Meat eating. Then you're wealthy enough, you don't have to live off the land anymore. You don't have to scrabble around in the dirt for corn and rice, and now you can eat meat like the West, and the Western doctors, I don't know whether you've seen things like, Forks Over Knives, or some of the documentaries on plant-based diets and how important and nutritious they are.
Yeah, I saw one. I can't remember the name of it. The guy, he was running around the world helping people. I can't remember the name of it. Darn it! But it's pretty good. Yeah,
there are a few out there that Forks Over Knives was very good, and they've come out with a cookbook, and they're all vegan and low oil and low salt, but they use it to lose weight. But again, they emphasize the raw fruits and vegetables for the proper nutrition and stuff. But if people turn to veganism for ethical reasons, I applaud that too. But there's more to it than just that too. There's more that you can get out of it. So,
and is there any real proof that vegetables don't have some kind of high-pitched scream when you bite into them that we just can't hear? They are living things, right?
Well, you have to bop them. You have to bop them on the side of the table first, like a mouse,
like a baby seal. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. And then you sneak up on them. You sneak up on behind your kohlrabi and whack it a few times.
Right before you hit it, you got to go. Ah-ha! Yeah, definitely. That's crazy.
No, they don't have a nervous system like we do. They didn't have mothers and fathers. They don't have faces. People that say, well, you still have to kill. Well, okay, yeah, I still have to kill. I am killing, and I'm eating the energy of that thing. That's
that
true.
orange is alive.
Yeah. Well, of course it's alive. Yeah. But it's not quite the same thing. I think that argument comes from people who really don't want to think about it. Some people just
of
don't
course,
want
yeah.
to think, you know?
Yeah.
Because if they think, they're going to have to make a decision. And they don't want to make a decision, you know, because it's hard. I mean, when you think about your cat or your dog,
Yeah.
and you think, okay, this pig or this goat or this calf isn't that much different. I mean, how are we so arbitrary that we say this cute little animal we eat and this cute little animal, you know, we buy toys for, you know, $5,000
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
protect them. So, you know, and when you realize that that's irrational, you know, then you start unpacking all the reasons, you know, cultural reasons. And I totally respect that food is such an important part of our culture. We share food, and that's a delightful thing. We share Jewish traditions or Mexican traditions or, you know, Italian traditions, Thai, you know, that they all have, they're so much a part of who we are as a group, what we identify with in our ethnicity or in our bonding with our parents and our grandparents.
Like bacon, right?
Like bacon, you know. We bond as a society. What is this bacon thing? I mean, my God, it's everywhere. Bacon Sundays, bacon.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's
weird.
just to get Muslims mad. I don't know. That's what I think.
Is that it?
I think so.
I can totally see that. Yeah. But I understand it's a culture thing, but culture changes. Culture changes all the time. You know, we don't see people smoking like they used to. We don't see people throwing trash out the windows like we used to. You know, culture is amazingly fluid, and that's one of the gifts of humans. Well, not a gift. It was a hard one that we got to the top of the food chain because we are so adaptable, you know, because we go less and less on instinct and more on learned behavior that we learned from our culture and our parents. So these things can change, and veganism now is much more acceptable. I mean, you see that it's everywhere. I mean, restaurants and stuff in stores, that would have been unheard of even 20 years, even 10 years ago probably, but people, they almost use it. It's not a lifestyle that they have to adapt. You know, that's the key. It's not something you have to do all the time. If you go out on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and instead of having Italian food or Chinese food, you say, well, let's go to that vegan restaurant that opened around the corner. You know, it's and then you can experience it and see how yummy it is.
Yeah, there's a place right around the corner from us. It's a original, authentic Indian joint, and they don't eat meat there, so it's all vegetables that we're eating. And I know when people look at me, they're like, "There's no way he's eating vegetables," but I do.
Of course, yeah, sure.
But I really like it because of the spice and things like that. But it's a great restaurant, and I go home, you know, feeling fine that I did not eat meat. You know,
right? Yeah. You know, a lot of the rest of the world has used meat as condiments, essentially. You know, in stir fries and in different ways. They emphasize usually the rice that goes with it, or the grain that goes with it, the corn that goes with it, and the meat or the dairy is a small part of that. So I enjoy eating different ethnic foods, a wide variety of spices and stuff. It's great. So, yeah.
So when is the book coming out?
Yeah, I should put it in a book. But you know, there are some wonderful books out there. I just be, you know, gilding the lily, I think, to come out with my own. But yeah, you know, it's when you think about it and you start doing research on it, it's and again, it's something I had to arrive at through a long time. I didn't just, you know, wake up one day. Some people do, you know, they're very sick or something, and they say, I've got to do something, and they switch to raw foods and feel it better immediately, and they never go back. But I wasn't one of those people. I describe it almost like a tide coming in. You know, the wave goes a little bit further on the shore, and you feel a little better, and then a party comes along, or somebody offers you some food that you know you shouldn't be eating, and you backslide a little bit, and you forgive yourself. Say, hey, it was just one night, or it was 1 week, or it was 1 month, or it was 1 year, and say, okay, I'm going to get on it now. I'm going to do it again, just like we do with our exercising, right? You know, New Year's
me, it's more
resolution.
like, you know, hey, it was 1 decade, you know.
Yeah,
So
exactly. We can always change. We always have the potential. Every single day is an opportunity change, and you can feel better. I mean, I feel more energized. I notice it if I go off raw food and just have veganism. I always have vegan food, but sometimes I don't always do the raw stuff. And my energy is just higher. My eyes are clearer, colors are sharper. I just feel like I'm thinking better, you know. And again, as Satanists, we need to be the top of our game. You know, we need to be at the forefront of making decisions for the rest of the people. So
now I got to lose weight.
Well, I think your approach to it also is it's definitely something that I guess is more influential. If you're, you know, like we're all accustomed to certain vegans who, like, you know, the minute they meet you, they got to start preaching veganism to you.
Oh, exactly.
So when I listen to you say I'm perfectly comfortable sitting around somebody who's eating meat, then that's going to make me more accepting of, well, then maybe I could try some vegan food, you know. I mean, like, it's different, you know, because that's my natural instinct when somebody says you shouldn't eat meat is you should kiss my ass because I'm gonna
exactly. And that was my posture for a long time. It really was. I'm not going to let anybody tell me, some sanctimonious ass tell me what to eat and what not to eat. You know, it was only through diligent research that I came to, okay, all right, red meat has an effect on my blood sugar. Okay, I see that through the numbers. I see that through the research. All right. Okay, so I've got to rethink that. And I started learning more about animal agriculture and, you know, the bad things that happen there and how unnecessary it is and how so much. I mean, I hate to, you know, say the hippies were right because, you know, they're not about so much. But, you know, they've been talking about big corporations and big pharmaceutical companies not caring about us for a long time.
Monsanto.
And yeah, and you do the research and you say, yeah, I can see where they're coming from here. You know, they think that, okay, I'm pushing this food on you, I'm pushing the high fructose corn syrup on you, and by the time you have any negative effects, I'll be sipping Mai Tais on some beach somewhere, you know. So, and there's nothing provable. It's like the cigarette thing, you know. It went for so long that they denied and they denied and they denied, even though they knew that there was a direct correlation. And when that could finally be proven, but, you know, cheap food is a lot easier to push on people than organic food. Again, organics aren't just about higher prices. They're about not having the pesticides and more importantly, giving back to the soil, you know, putting life back into the soil. And when we just strip mine, when we use chemical fertilizers and all the when it's a chemistry experiment instead of food, then we all suffer. You know, eventually that's not sustainable. That will not go in the long term. You know, so they've been strip mining our food for a long time, our soil, and now people are saying, hey, that wasn't such a good idea, so they're getting back to organics and stuff, and more people are buying organics, so ta-da, the prices come down, you know, which is great.
I've got a question, and before you answer or anything, let me just tell you my take on it. Milk.
Okay.
I hate milk. I can't stand it. I haven't had milk in going in 20 something years. Maybe almost toward the 30 mark. I just think that milk is from a cow and it's meant for a baby cow. It has so much blood and pus traces in it, and it's just not good for humans. We're not meant to be able to break that down. That's why you have people that are lactose intolerant and things like that. And eventually, through the years, as you get older, you become lactate intolerant. And I can't even speak. But what am I right or am I wrong about milk?
No, you're absolutely right.
Yay!
It's not natural.
All that same stuff applied to steak.
Yeah.
Well,
wait, I got to hear the milk thing first.
No, I think he's right specifically about when you think how weird it is that we took this one animal. I mean, we don't drink elephant milk.
Yeah, why don't you drink cat milk?
We don't drink cat milk. We don't, eat mice cream, with the little tiny pumps on the mommy mice. You know, that's not going to work. And why did we pick cows? Just because they were convenient?
It seems like, it is. I mean, it's the size and convenience, you know, and other countries, when the largest animal is a goat, they drink a lot of goat milk, I think.
Goat milk, exactly.
Elephants,
but,
we just don't have any.
well, yeah. So
I think it's gross. It's so bad for you, isn't it?
It is. It's very bad for you, and it's not natural. We don't generally digest it well. Now that I've been away from it, you probably know this. If you ever would have some of it, it would probably cause you severe pain.
When I have ice cream, because I like ice cream, but sometimes I'll have frozen yogurt. I know something's done differently with it, but when I have ice cream or anything like that, I do get stomach pain.
Because you've been away from it for a long time.
But I'll deal with it because I love chocolate. But
yeah.
So
okay. Well, there's soy yogurt, there's coconut yogurt.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of yummy things. Again, it's breaking through so that there's all kinds of coconut-based ice creams that are, even more luscious, I think, than the milk, because it really is. You're right. It's unnatural. And I didn't bring up the pus in the blood. You did. Yeah. But they have constant infections in dairy cows, and that's why they have to constantly pump them full of antibiotics, which are not good for us. They're giving more milk than they should naturally. They're giving them hormones to make them give more milk too fast, and they get infections, and the pus gets in the blood, and in the milk, and the blood gets in the milk, and it's just not, it's not like the farmer in the dell, In the old days, there was some sort of compassion, some sort of relationship with the animals. There was some sort of respect. Like my own father, he came from a family of sheepmen. They came over from England, and they raised sheep in the Pacific Northwest. And you give your time, you give your love, you try to birth the babies when it's time for them to come, and sometimes it's very hard, and you sweat, and then you kill them, and it's hard. It's very hard to live in that world, to identify with them and see them galloping around, and we did it. We've done it for a really, really long time, but it's not something we need to continue to do. We're humans. We change. Things change, times change, and if that's all we had to eat, yeah, of course. When we were struggling through the Ice Age and we couldn't get any food out of the ground, we couldn't find any greens, we went to the ocean. We had seaweeds. We lived wherever we could, and we ate whatever meat we could kill. But that doesn't mean that that's what our body is adapted to. It doesn't mean that we have to continue to do that. We're adapted. We can get nutrition out of cardboard. But that doesn't mean that we want to live off of cardboard. It just means that we're very, very efficient machines.
What if it has barbecue sauce on it, though?
Or bacon. I know, bacon.
Those are those pizzas, Tombstone pizzas. That's cardboard with ketchup and cheese on it.
People just have to be a little smarter.
Yeah, we enjoy almond milk, rice milk. I like rice cream. I love that stuff. And soy is not... Soy in large amounts over a long period of years is actually not good for you. Marlene's father is a naturopathic physician, so he's homeopathic with things and naturopathic with things. So he's always scolding me or spanking my hiney or something.
Yeah, exactly. I do have cravings for soy, for tofu specifically, but I try to not, because I know that it's highly processed. And with raw foods, again, I don't have to worry about it because it's processed, so it goes off the list, but I still have cravings for it. Other people have cravings for steak. I have cravings for tofu.
Interesting. But talking with you and hearing this, it really opened my eyes. And now I might have to lose some weight and buy some new suits for Conclave. Great, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you go. See, there's always a downside, isn't there?
That's awesome.
Excellent.
So speaking of that, do you plan on being there for this year? Of course, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Silly
I would
rabbit.
miss it.
Right.
We had such a wonderful party last time. My goodness.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know whether any of us will get any more sleep this time than we did last time.
Yeah, I know, right?
Probably less.
I know. Some of us are up in each other's hotel rooms up until odd hours and just doing whatever. And it's like, oh, we got to be downstairs and meet at 8 a.m. It's like,
yes. Well,
it's 3 hours from now. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll sleep after the weekend's over, right?
Yeah, that's what happens.
We only get a chance to be together like that once in a while, and it's a luscious opportunity to spend with all these fabulous, smart, interesting people.
Yeah, I had an amazing time.
A lot of
last year.
fun. A lot of fun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do we have? I don't know if we are talking about this yet, but any more information about your
revised
revised edition of Church of Satan?
Well, I'm working on it. I really am, and I'm kind of shifting, I think, the perspective, though. I don't want to say too much about it, but I want to include a lot of archival stuff. Some of the early writings that I've run across in my research that really shows that Anton LaVey had it right from the get-go. He said it, and he kept saying the same thing from the very beginning, and he kept his hand on the tiller. He could have given the organization over. There were plenty of people trying to take it away from him at various points, and came up with the new revealed word of Satan. But he knew what he wanted, and he knew he needed to stay with his vision as long as he possibly could to give it a good start, to give it good roots, and so these documents really do show that it was right there from the beginning. It was a wonderful alchemy that happened. But I've gotten these wonderful responses too. The High Priestess has been helping distribute some surveys, and I've gotten such fabulous responses that I almost want to broaden the book into what we're doing now. Certainly include things that we've done, like the last gathering and the wonderful art exhibit in Florida recently, and some of the issues that the High Priest and High Priestess have come forward and articulated their opinions on. But these surveys show such a dynamism, such creativity, right. And that the people, again, getting back to the idea that we are the Church of Satan, that we don't need big buildings, that we're the ones that are building this every day, every moment that we breathe, every time that we achieve the creativity or business plans that we have. And I almost want to include these. I will certainly include sections from them, but I almost want to include the whole things, just so that and make it for a broader audience, not just us to, we love to read each other's work and we love to pat each other on the back, and that's great, but how about expanding it to a wider audience so that the people that are living next door to you, or the teachers that have your children in their class, or coworkers that don't even know you're a Satanist but might suspect something, they'll know where you're coming from, so that people that don't really necessarily are Satanist or want to be Satanist, but they understand maybe a little bit more about where we're coming from and who we are and what we've achieved and what we can, where our focus is, so that they, won't be weirded out as much. Not that I don't enjoy being weird, but sometimes it can have its complications, with parents of other children, and we're one of the last really religions where you kind of shy away from saying what you are. People who are other Christians or Jews or Muslims or something. People generally know what their religion is, but we're kind of like on the QT a lot of times, depending on the situation, which is fine. We don't encourage martyrdom, but but maybe it would be better if employers and teachers and other people knew what we were about, and maybe this would help them feel a little bit more comfortable. Right. Not too comfortable. Just a little bit more.
Comfortable enough.
Just enough.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So in the book, do you mention Dorian and myself by name, or do you just allude to us?
Well, I think I have an entire chapter on each of you.
Excellent.
Yeah, not just together, but definitely, each of you. I mean, it's only
handsome
right.
From the neck up.
From the beard up. I like that one.
Yeah, because the beard could be longer. So yeah, the world needs to know. Yeah.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I try not to be preachy. I I hate to be preached to about anything, people's philosophies or what to eat or what not to eat. But, there are plenty of books out there. I would just suggest that people get a few cookbooks or go to a vegan restaurant or a raw restaurant if you can find it, and see what it's all about. Take some of it and see how you feel afterwards, see if it digests well for you, and do some research. And if you want to lose weight, I would definitely say at least go, they treat raw foods sometimes as a cleanse. You go on a couple of weeks of raw foods, it's not that hard, and see how you feel, with green smoothies and salads.
How about a raw bar? It's the same thing?
Yeah, well, raw bar. You mean like with dancing girls, or is that?
Well, no.
What am I picturing here?
You talking about like a granola bar, like food?
No,
right?
I know. Like when it's like the seafood restaurant has a raw bar, it's usually like oysters and shit.
No.
Oh, no.
That's you're getting back into the meat there. It's really
so
it's
like
not
when
the
you
best.
eat raw, like say a potato, you'll eat it with still with the dirt on it, or how's it work?
Well, I don't eat raw potatoes because they're not really good for you. But it's
Right.
you get your protein from nuts and seeds, and a lot of times you wash the dirt off unless it's organic. You don't have to be that careful if it's organic, but no, seriously, you do need to wash your fruits and vegetables because they've still got residues on them and things like that. But it's just, and there's I hate to get
You let it out.
all
You just let it out.
mystical.
Yeah.
But there's an energy. They say that this is sun food because the sun goes directly into this food and into the soil and it does make you feel different. I don't know whether it's the more direct access to the minerals and the phytonutrients and the chemistry that our body really has evolved to depend on, or whether it's just my imagination, but it really does make me feel more connected. Connected to myself and connected to the earth, and getting all misty-eyed.
Getting hippie on us now.
So,
Yeah,
they were right.
yeah.
But
connected.
for those people that are actually listening to this and becoming inspired to change their eating habits, it's probably safe to say that. Because I've tried this before myself, and I know I don't look like it when you see me, but I have tried to eat this way. For the first, I would say, week, it's hard, and you do develop maybe some headaches and some dizziness and some weakness feeling while your body is ridding of all these toxins out of you. I mean, true, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But
you hit it right on the head there because it's not just the physical toxins too, it's emotional toxins that you with juicing or with
Because
green.
you're sad from not having any steak.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. You have to deal with that. No, seriously. I mean, you've got a lot of buildup of crap in your system, and it all comes out. But as you say, if you give it time, if you give it a little bit more time, your tastes do change and your body does adapt. But yeah, it's hard to begin with, and it's habit. I mean, a lot of food is just a habit. You're used to getting up and having your bacon and your eggs or your whatever, your toast, whatever you're used to. But if you just give yourself, usually it takes about 3 weeks to create new habits. And if you give yourself 3 weeks, you will feel, and you notice how much better you feel.
Yeah.
That hopefully will inspire you. But like you said, like I was saying earlier, it's like the wave comes in and it goes up a little bit further. It goes back out. It goes. It's the tide coming in. It's a tidal change in your life, and give yourself room to experience that going forward, and then experience the consequences. Like you said, with the milk, not digesting very well. Some people who've been off red meat for a while, they take a bit of red meat, a hamburger or a steak or something, and they're up groaning and holding their stomach all night. They get all bloated and in pain and stuff. So it's
I've heard. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's like getting a caffeine headache. When you're used to caffeine and you go off the caffeine, it's like, oh my God, what am I doing to myself? I've got this terrible bursting headache and I'm so lethargic I can't move. Without my caffeine.
Yeah. See, I've heard. I don't know how true this might be, but I've heard that there's some people that eat raw foods, and they've done it for so long that they don't even have to wipe their butt anymore. They poop like an animal. Is that true?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I'm so glad you asked that question.
Yeah,
on a public forum
thanks,
like
John.
this. Yes. Well, let's just leave it at digestion is a lot easier. Yes.
Okay.
And food that you're designed to eat does pass through more quickly, and it's a more absorbable form, when you're getting the nutrients that you need, the vitamins and the minerals and the phytonutrients and the enzymes that you need. Yes, it does go through a lot more quickly. That's true.
And new podcast rule: when we have attractive women on the show, don't ask them about how the bathroom situation works.
Did he get that memo? Did you?
No, I did. Well,
sorry, I didn't set it in time.
Well, you forgot about the other podcast rule where you're not allowed to talk about podcast rules while recording a podcast. That's funny.
You guys are too much.
That's awesome.
All right.
Well, we've learned a lot. I mean, actually, that's and it as it relates to Satanism is amazing. Really, we are in charge of ourselves as gods, and what we do to our vessels that we're using here is important.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not an easy path. But Satan is the Lord of the earth, and it's up to us to stay healthy and protect it and advocate for it as long as we can.
Excellent.
We asked this of all of our guests. What does Satan mean to you?
Oh boy, freedom of mind. It's something I've been with. It's been with me for so long that I conjure him constantly in my life, in my daily living. We talk. He's within me and without me, as the Beatles would say. And freedom. Yeah, it's just it's amazing. It's an energy high, definitely, to know that I have the power to look at things with that perspective. And it gave me that power when I was a child to not accept things on other people's authority, and not necessarily, to think for myself, to question all things, and not believe what anybody tells me.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I gotta say, this is our 12th episode, and that was the best answer I've ever heard.
Wow. Okay.
He says that to everybody.
Yes, I'm sure he does.
No, no, I don't. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, usually you say it's in the top something or other. So
Yeah.
I guess that's a pretty good compliment.
I actually welcome someone to listen through all the episodes and figure out the order of importance that they're in.
I'll leave you with a thought as far as vegetables, the uses of various vegetables and fruits. This is a fruit, actually, the avocado. I don't know how attracted you are to avocados, but we
can't stand them. But go ahead.
We have a lot of them here in California.
Yeah.
And I didn't like them when I was a kid. It was something about the texture or something. But when I went to the culinary school in Fort Bragg in Northern California, I went to Living Light, which is a raw food school, dedicated school. And the secret to the chocolate ice cream, avocado. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They didn't tell us until after we'd eaten it. But yeah, and then we made it, and it tasted delicious. It's very high in fat, so it gave it that nice fat feel and taste, and with the chocolate. So yeah,
totally gonna go get some ice cream after this.
Right? Yeah.
Marlene just brought home some frozen yogurt.
Actually, I'm gonna get chocolate peanut butter, but whatever.
Oh, I love you.
Best flavor ever.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
No, but you know what? After listening to you, I could see at least a starting point. I could see myself at least trying, like you said, maybe once a week. Like, all right, this one day I'll eat something different. Because I like trying new stuff.
Yeah,
it's
precisely.
But it's just, I don't know why, and it's just, I guess maybe just the way that I've lived my life. That when somebody shows me they're eating anything and there's no meat in it, I think why, But
you're not eating. You poor thing.
But you do have to start somewhere. So yeah, I think I can give that a shot.
Yeah, look at the videos, read a few books and, learn what it's all about. And the information's there online. There's lots of opportunity online to learn about it. And, think for yourself, decide for yourself. It's yummy. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see my shoes. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to eat a little better.
Okay. Yeah. Just, even if it's just a few days,
you want to be handsome from the neck down, right?
Give yourself one of those weeks that you were talking about, and fight through the you're going to get cranky. People going off cigarettes or caffeine are cranky too.
Yeah.
And you're going to, our bodies are designed, we evolved to like the taste of fats and salts and sugar because we don't get it in nature. Where in nature are you going to find refined sugar, But
in a muffin. Those grow from the earth, right?
Well, of course, the muffin bushes absolutely is. Yes.
Well, this was a blast. This was awesome.
Good.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for being here with us. We really appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely. I enjoyed it very much, and I'm so glad you guys are out here doing this.
Thanks. Awesome. And we look forward to seeing you in New York.
Yes, that will be wonderful.
I'll see you next week, actually. Or this weekend.
Yeah,
so.
for the event up there.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
See you as soon as I leave, man.
Why'd you leave? Come back. We'll let you back into the Southwest Satanist group.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. Well.
All right.
We'll talk again soon.
All right. I wish you both a very prosperous new year ahead. Okay. Have a blast.
And with you, hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
All right, that's gonna wrap up episode 12.
Yes.
That was amazing talking to Blanche. You know what? I gotta admit, she kind of got me thinking. That may totally change tomorrow when I see a cheeseburger. But
of course, but that's
at the moment I'm kind of thinking. I don't know. Maybe
Here's the thing.
I
I know how you said you hated when people talk about veganism and they preach about it and stuff. But when you have veganism or raw foodism mixed in with lesser magic, it makes it a little more palatable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Nice. Yeah.
So it's very she has a very strong and influential argument about food. Yeah. So
and she's an awesome lady. So
cool. Personally, she's amazing.
So I think we should announce about episode 13.
Ooh, you don't want to tease anybody, huh? You just want to tell them all our secrets. Go ahead.
Well, we can tease it, but I mean, let's just say that the very first show of
2016,
CE, the biggest guess we can get for.
Yeah, we start off the year with a bang with Magus.
It's not gonna.
What?
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
All right, we're having Magus Peter Gilmore.
Yeah. And it will not be your regular show. We're not gonna do. Opening stuff. I mean, this is going to be all about him, and it's a discussion, but it's going to be
listen
awesome.
to it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Just check it out, and it's just our version of a special, I guess. So,
yeah.
Episode 13. What a way to go! So,
see you next week with that one.
All right, hail Satan, John.
Hail Satan.